I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-Minute Convos, where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Karla Cauldwell. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I am doing well, thank God. Thank you for asking.
Hey, well, do tell us, what part of the world are you in right now, Karla?
I am in beautiful Port Isabel, Texas.
Ooh, did you all have a bad experience with the hurricane?
No, actually, it was a very unifying experience for my family and I. We had just moved here a week prior, and the hurricane inspired my husband and I and our 3 children to have to work together.
That's
And
great.
really, yes. So it was a positive experience for us. Thank God we were fine.
That's great to hear. Well, please do tell me, which of your talents is responsible for us meeting?
I would say it's my writing talent. I just recently published my first book, Live Your Best Life.
Wow. So I was just on a call with a guy who was talking about helping yourself, right? I love this. There's a theme tonight. So tell us more about the book, please.
Well, I am a problem solver, and in my lifetime, I've had a few personal challenges with health and depression, and I've been very obsessed with finding answers. And once I thought I had found some answers, I wanted to share. I'm a nurse and a health coach. And so I started sharing what I thought were the solutions, but they weren't working for others. So it became my mission for the last 10 years to really identify a system that works uniformly for all. And I discovered that all successful people who are living their best life make the same 5 critical life choices. And that's what my book is about, is to inspire the reader to create their own system and make these 5 critical life choices so they can live their own best life.
Well, I am definitely not going to ask you to give me the 5 because then I probably will need to purchase the book, but please do give me 2.
Well, I think if I had to pick the 2 most important ones, would be number 1, to take radical responsibility. And there's a lot that encompasses that, and it can be like peeling an onion. But I firmly believe from experience that we cannot live our best life unless we take radical responsibility of our thoughts, our actions, basically everything that is in front of us, everything we face in our life, taking responsibility for it actively, radically. And that is one choice that I think is super important. And I think the second one I would pick, although all 5 are really, really important, would be to get organized. I think that's not something we're taught, is how to manage our time, how to prioritize, how to manage our finances, and how to organize our day so that we can live our best life. So I think that is key.
Sounds great. Tell me the name of the book one more time, please.
It is called Live Your Best Life, and it's
Live your
available
best.
everywhere.
Wonderful. So who did you learn the skill of living your own best life from?
Well, it was in my book, my dedication is to God. I've been very blessed in having God's presence in my life from the very beginning, from my very first memory. And it has just been a constant conversation of, God, help me be better. God, help me to serve those around me. Help me to do something meaningful. And that conversation has led everything I've done.
Interesting, interesting. So there must have been ups and downs. Like I like to ask this, right? There must have been ups and downs through the journey. Why will you, Karla, continue to repeat this skill?
Well, there's ups and downs all the time. Um, it's part of the process.
Hmm.
I would continue this journey because it would be so meaningless if it were just up. I wouldn't even be able to identify or appreciate the up without having the full experience of the down. And it's those times that I'm brought to my knees where I fully experience the depth of life. It's those dark places that allow me to reach a solution or the light or a way to connect to others.
Hmm.
So I will always come back to this process of getting uncomfortable and working through things.
Well, do tell us, Karla, one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
I think it's in the same lines. I continuously get uncomfortable and face my fears. So daily I do 3 things that scare me to keep me humble and growing.
How does that make you feel?
Uncomfortable, very
I
uncomfortable.
would think so. So the beginning is the uncomfortable aspect, right? After you've done it, how do you feel?
Well, when I've done it, I feel fuller. I feel peaceful and grounded and just inspired.
Suggest to someone out there that's listening who may just be in that position where no, should I? Or no, you know what? Let's suggest to someone why they should be radically responsible or get organized.
I would invite whoever's listening right now who's feeling that maybe their circumstances are something they cannot control, it's outside of themselves. I would invite them to take responsibility and to own that everything that's happening is because of prior choices made. And the reason I invite this person listening to do this is because if it's your fault, then you can solve it. You can empower yourself to solve it. There's so much power in owning that it's all our responsibility.
Well, amazing audience, we are live right now, and with Karla Cauldwell. I love the name, right? It's like Karla Cauldwell, right? It's like you called well so that it could be, right? But anyways, we're live with Karla.
I love that. Thank you. No
You're
one's
welcome.
ever said that. I will remember that.
Wonderful. We're live with Karla Cauldwell, and she is the author of Live Your Own Best Life. Do check that out. Karla, let's switch gears for a moment now, and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded by warm, beautiful Caribbean water. Karla, what is your earliest childhood memory?
I'm stuck in the Caribbean water. That sounds beautiful. I've my earliest memory is one of feeling a little helpless and wanting to solve a conflict, and just really, really desiring a skill set to help 2 people I love solve a conflict.
How old do you think you were?
Well, I know I was 3 because I remember it very well.
Interesting. Why do you think this memory is so clear?
I think it was a traumatic moment for me, realizing I just couldn't help. I couldn't help. My parents were arguing and I wanted to help them solve, and I couldn't do anything. So it's just very vivid.
That is intriguing. Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Sure.
I love the idea of, sometimes in life we think that it's all roses, and it's amazing how things are plotted out in our lives that are challenges, that are painful, but it creates an opportunity where you can then help others. So the fact that you are helping people live their own best life now, after you've gone through that where you wanted to help and it wasn't possible at that point in time, it's just fascinating how that connects, Karla.
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it's just fascinating. Fascinating is my keyword. Please forgive me. It is fascinating.
I think curiosity, if I had to have a sixth critical life choice, it would be to be curious.
Yeah. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Well, if we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
12 was a very special time, and I was deeply enamored with Two Occasions by Babyface.
Yeah, intriguing how it connects, right? It's definitely two occasions, right? It's definitely
Yes.
two occasions. Well, Karla, we have now arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. Karla, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
I have not identified one person, but with my children, I do pray, God help me to support these beautiful children to be their best, because they're truly incredible. So I'm hoping that what my best will carry on through them and expand.
So you said you have, how many children do you have?
I have 3 boys.
Okay. Are you married?
I am, yes.
Do you believe in God?
Well, most definitely. I think you know I do.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
I do. My inner circle of friends are sacred. Some I've had since I was a little girl, and some I've had the pleasure of meeting most recently a year ago. So I definitely have a beautiful set of friends that hold me accountable to be my best. It's imperative.
What about TV? Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No,
How about 3 hours a week?
no.
What about screen time? The phone and or the computer. Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
It's less than 8 hours, but I do have some screen time. I'm on a lot of social platforms, so yes, there's some time that goes there.
All right. Well, Karla, after having 1,001 conversations in 3 months, I came up with a workbook that's called Yours. It's an amazing workbook. It stands for your own unique real self, but connected to that, as you go deeper, it stands for your own unique real statement. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, your mission, if you would, what would you say that is?
My mission is also my political statement. I believe in inspiring people to live their best life so they might inspire everyone around them to live their best life. Because I believe all this ugliness that's happening just wouldn't be happening if we were all whole and happy and healthy. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, Karla, this has been a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I just pray for your wellness. I pray for your success. I pray for your healing. And I trust that as you become your best self, you will inspire everyone to do their best. And it's our duty and mission to be our best. So I do pray for your healing.
Hey, thank you so much. Karla she called the well. She prayed for the well, right? Karla Cauldwell, thank you so much for being on what is inspired by 12-minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being on 12-minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.